Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here it is. This box is, over 35 pounds. Kelby, again, you've outdone yourself. Thank you. We have tools, and as of right now, we actually have some in stock. So what that means is I have, I think 20 sets here in this box, and some of them have been spoken for, some of them have not. So if you want a set of tools, I will say this. After these are gone, I don't know what I'm going to do. So basically my machinist and I have to figure something out here because it's not really cost effective to produce these. So it's not cost or time effective for my machinist to produce these. Kelby, I get it. I really do. So we're going to figure out exactly where we go from here. But what I wanted to do was kind of go over again what you get and what a set means and all that stuff. And I've got some other idiosyncrasies here with these, so let's go over that real quick. Okay, I'm back. So what we've got here now is what is considered a complete set. So small rod, this is for flywheel side, M8 and M10 by 1.0 right hand thread. So this essentially governs all the flywheel side stuff for the most part. And there's one exception that I know of, and we'll get to that. So then you get 3 rods, M10, M12, and M14. The M10 is, these are all left hand thread. They for the clutch side, PTO side, so they grab the crank of a bunch of different saws. You get a lot of saws here that this will cover. It's not everything, but it's quite a few. So M10 by 1, I think is like the 026s, the really small small cranks. M10 by 1.5, I think, is the 346 XP. And the associated saws. M12 by 1 is, I believe, steel 440 and 660, and the associated saws with those. M12 by 1.25 is the Husky 394s, and I think 272, 268, a lot of those are that thread as well. And there's one exception, we'll get to that in a minute. M14 by 1.25 and M14 by 1.0. M14 by 1.0 is, I believe, steel 880, and I haven't tried one of those yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what that is in the 090s. The bigger ones use 14 by 1. 14 by 1.25 is Husky 372, 385, 390, those series of saws. Small and large sleeve. So the small sleeve is for the flywheel side rod. You can use the large sleeve with the small rod as well, flywheel side, if you really want to. Since this one does fit sloppy fit over that, 10 turns of electrical tape take up the slop. So if you're using that, you could just kind of jury rig it like that, and it works just fine. You don't have to use electrical tape, but if you want to make sure it's really centered, then that's good. This is just a handle, piece of threaded rod. Now, I'll apologize for these. I was grinding on these, trying to put nice chamfers on the end, and I kind of buggered some of them. So for the guys that got threaded rods that are a little bit buggered, all you got to do is take a small file and work the thread out there. It will work. Or you can just cut the end off and kind of re-chamfer it, and you will get the nuts on. It does work. You can indeed get this into here. And I will try to make sure that the future threaded rods will go in. And what I might do is, for future kits, I might actually just buy long 3/8 bolts and include them again just as a handle. That's all that is. Nuts and washers, 5/8, 3/4, 5/8, 3/4. You get one of each. That's a complete kit. So that'll do most of the saws. Not all of them, but most of the relevant saws. So here are the exceptions. Let's go over some of the exceptions. And some of the nifty things that I have. Pause. So let's say this kit doesn't quite fill the bill. Like, for instance, you have a Husky 242 XP. I have, I believe here, a custom-made rod for the small sleeve for the 242. So this is actually M8 by 1.25, and excuse my bird, but M8 by 1.25, and I believe this is 3/8 UNC left-hand thread. So it's a really odd rod, but I have a couple of them right now, and so that is an addition to the complete kit. Now I also have an addition to the complete kit coming that will do the old Husky 266, which is 1/2" UNC left-hand thread. So the old 61 and the 266 need 1/2" UNC left-hand thread for the PTO side. And that was a unique one. I was trying to find something to put on the other end, and I found it. The Steel 661 has M13 by 1.0. Now, I don't know why they went from 660 to M12 to 661 M13. I have no idea, but that rod, it's an addition to the complete set if you want it. That rod will be here this week, almost for sure. Sorry for the delays, guys. Clearly, Kelby's been working on this like crazy. These are all the sleeves and all the rods. So he's been working like crazy. I'm just waiting on that 661, 266 rod, and I have a few of those coming. So, and a lot of those are already spoken for. If you want one, please let me know, and we'll get that done. For right now, this batch is going to be it until I figure out what else I'm doing. I have a few extra individual rods. So, I had a request for a 440 rod. So, for those guys that don't want a complete kit, they just want to put together 440s, this rod should work. No guarantee. Haven't tried it. But it's got an M8 on one end, and I believe this is M12 by 1.0 on the other. And the tolerance inside there is quite tight. So hopefully it holds up. So this is an experimental rod. If you want one, let me know. I have a standalone 372 kit. So if you want to just put together 372s, 385s, 390s, 365s, then you can get that kit, and a standalone 660 kit. So this is a standalone 660 rod, so it's got an M10 on one end and the M12 on the other. This goes with a large sleeve. So if you get a standalone kit, if you said, Matt, I just want to put together, say, 372s, get a rod, get a large sleeve, handle, nut, and washer, and that's it. That's it for that kit. Now, the problem with the standalone kits, if I'm, I've got just a few of them, but if the problem with the standalone kits is that you are kind of redundant. So if you have a 372 rod and you want to upgrade later to the complete set, the rod becomes redundant. The sleeve, the nut, the washer, the handle obviously don't, but the rod itself basically becomes redundant. So, just to let you know that. This is just a quick summary of where we're at. So I've gotten lots of interest. I've sent out lots of emails. I have not received replies to a lot of emails. If somebody's interested, just put your email down in the description. I'll send you an email, and I'll usually write sent on there to let you know that the email's out. If you haven't gotten an email from me fairly quickly, I'm pretty good at responding quickly. If you haven't gotten an email from me in 24 hours, please contact me again. YouTube, I'm pretty good about getting the messages, so I should be able to respond pretty quickly. So hopefully we can get some of these shipped out to the guys that are waiting for these. Thank you for everybody for your patience. I don't know where we're going beyond this set, so if you want a set, you better get in and get them done, because I really don't know when the next batch is happening. So with regard to that, I'll mention that I am not posting right now on the forums. So if you want to get a hold of me, you get a hold of me through YouTube. And again, if you're interested, just put your email down in the comments section, and I will shoot you an email regarding the kits and let you know where we're at. So I'm still sorry. I've got videos in queue to post. I just haven't gotten them edited. So I say thanks so much for everybody for all the interest. This has been a really cool project to work on. I've had a lot of fun doing this and getting to talk to all of you guys and see what you're working on and see if I can help out in any way. I'm sorry for the couple of little quirks we've had in the kit. I've had a lot of great comments on it, and I really do think that this turns basically one of the hardest parts of case assembly and saw assembly into basically the easiest. And it's a kit that just lasts and lasts. It just, you know, it basically doesn't wear out. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to sell thousands of units of these because they don't wear out. It's very, you'd have to use this a lot in order to actually put any level of wear on it. And even if you did, I mean, this aluminum sleeve, you know, if you wear this out, so file it down a little bit. Or worst comes to worst, just get another one. So what? You know, it's not like these are going to wear out anytime soon. Quick quirk on which we figured out on the 660s. If you do have an aftermarket 660 crank, measure the crank, measure the threads, measure the outer diameter of the threads. It should be, if it's M12, it should be right around 12 millimeters. If it's 11.6, 11.7, if it's a little bit under spec, this is not going to hold. It's just not going to grab right. So, if the crank's out of spec, then that's an out of spec crank. This is not an issue with the kit. So you have to go back to whoever sold you the out of spec crank. Okay, that's it for the night. I'm done rambling. Thank you so much for all the interest, and I'm gonna start packaging these up and start getting these out to people. So thank you to Kelby again, hugely do appreciate it. You've been slugging away at this, and I know that this is really not cost effective for you. So we'll work something out, and yeah, trudge on. Take care, guys. Appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe.